Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest, and you and I know, it's the greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. This is the morning stream. What do we call this thing? The live show? This is our morning live show. It's our daily live show, Monday through Friday. We come to you 11:32 a.m. Today is Thursday, June 30th, ending the month, about a round into July. Hope everyone, has a good 4th of July this year, of course. But Ben, again, if you haven't watched the past couple episodes, he's on vacation. He will be back. He's at Disney in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And he has like a big bruise on his leg. I heard he was in a wheelchair. It was too much walking.
I think it was a lightsaber battle gone wrong.
Yeah, it was a lightsaber battle gone wrong. He didn't have the high ground, and that's what happens. I know he does hate sand, though. Of course, it's irritating, and it gets everywhere. We will be, let's just get right into the YouTube here. We have the NFT Alpha. You guys got us up to 19.7. I just want to say thank you very much. Very appreciative for all the new subs that we've been getting. Getting close to 20. We put out, regular shorts, but we have a new video about a drop that it's going to be 3 free tips on how to make money in NFTs. It's using some free software. We break down how. Think a trading view, but for NFTs.
Is that like hashtag JTT?
Yes. Not
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. No. I know.
Jonathan. God. That was a pretty good one, right? Yeah, I can only do it once. All right. Then, hey, I also got up to 34.7. I noticed that this morning. I just put out a good tweet talking about the top 3 Cardano NFT projects for the past 24 hours. Shout out to the Chilled Kongs. Someone bought this for 26,000 ADA. I don't know why we zoomed in so hard there, but yeah, someone 26K on that JPEG. So you know what they say? Oh, NFTs are dead. Cardano still humping along. And you know what? If you police my likes on my Twitter, I'll be liking some pretty crazy things. But I did want to share this real quick. Maybe we'll talk about this. If not, we might circle back. But Circle's USDC scheme on the brink of collapse. So, yeah, follow me. I'm always perusing, looking for some good threads. Let's go ahead, refresh. Are we up? Are we down? 45.78. And we are at 45. Hold on, let me move. Hey, 83. We've gone up 5. Maybe we can go up another 5 before tomorrow. That'd be pretty sweet. I'll like that. Frankie will be back. I will allow, you know what? How about you tell us, BJ, where is Frank? Frank is supposed to be running the board right now, but he's gone. BJ, where is he?
Frank is doing a scientific experiment, and he is showing what happens with basic metabolism and ejection.
Okay.
Oh, here he is.
You know what? He's back.
Did you wipe?
Whoa. Wipe down the calves because he was glistening them. He was sunning his calves outside in the parking lot. I can smell the banana boat from here. But Frank, how goes it, man?
I was making a cup of coffee, guys. I actually forgot it in the kitchen, though. What's going on, everybody? DZ Frankie Candle's takeover. Let's go. Oh, no, I'm good. Thank you.
Is this our first episode, Frank? Second?
Technically our first full episode, I believe.
Okay. All right. I like that. He's doing calf raises. That's like I said, I see him doing that in the middle of the night in the kitchen all the time, just bouncing. Just nonstop.
Facing the corner.
Yeah, he nods his head. All right, let's bring it to the screen here because you know what it is. It's the World Series of Trading hosted by ByBit. And how are we doing as a team? Or is it waiting for this countdown and then it begins?
It is going on. I got to check. I did not check it today. But
you're carrying the whole team, right? On your back.
It is for U.S. residents only, I believe.
DZ loves the banana boat. Come bathe with me. That's an old SNL reference there. All right, as always, if you're looking for some cool crypto merch, I recommend check that out. The Hit merch really got some good things going on. All right, guys. I think the streak's going to continue. Every time I refresh, things go down, and they've been going down a lot. I think The streak is at what, like 5 days now in a row?
I think so.
Now, this isn't daily candles. You know, the day can go up on the 24-hour, but when I hit this refresh button, it goes down. All right, everybody looking at that market cap of 897, what's going to happen? Please go up. For once in your life, you stupid market cap, go up. Come on, baby.
872.
Let's end the streak.
That's my guess.
I'm the reverse signal that we've all been waiting for. I don't know what's going on with our internet here. CoinMarketCap, you know what it is? Everybody's freaking out about the markets. They're checking. Wow, this is actually real bad. We might have to come back to this. Oh, wait, here we go. 897 to 861. The streak continues. I'm sorry, guys.
We're
You know what it
undefeated.
is? You guys at home, you didn't hit the like button. I blame you. In fact, I know it's you. Simulation would have rewarded us if you would have hit that like button. But it's okay because we can reverse it. There's a way to reverse this trend. It's called hitting the like button. Hit it right now. Go ahead. Let's freak out this YouTube algorithm. Let's get everybody. You ever smelled a Bitcoin video? We want this to pop up on the feed so people can get educated and say, you know what? It's boring now. Maybe I won't FOMO in at 60K. Maybe I won't FOMO in at 50K. Maybe I won't FOMO in at 70K. Maybe I'll look into this blockchain thing now when it's down. I actually talked to somebody at 1885, local place to eat, and I had my Bitcoin shirt on. I got another Bitcoin shirt on. I don't know if we can. I got the B, and they said they thought my shirt said something else, like Boston. I don't know what it said. Buy Bitcoin. They thought it said something else with a B. I said no, just that fake internet money. I said she's like, oh yeah, I've heard of it, and I said yeah, you know it's pretty cheap right now. She's like, my husband's into it, and he said, it is cheap right now. I said, yeah, it's a good time to buy. So people are starting to hear about it. You know what it is? They pop it up on Fox Business News, MSNBC, and CNBC more and more now. So it's becoming more mainstream. It's like that marketing strategy where the first time you see an ad for a soft drink, you're not going to drink it. But when you see it 87 times, you know what? Maybe I will try this vitamin water. You know,
Let me give it a
50
try.
Cent, he's doing upside down sit-ups. It must be good, right? If I drink this, I get a 6-pack. It didn't work.
I got fatter.
I just got fatter. No, I was joking last night. Now I'm a bag of bones. All right, let's get back to the CoinMarketCap. We're getting off the rails here. You know what it is? It's the Frankie Deasy takeover. We're already losing our ass
Way
here.
off the rails. That's how we like it.
ETH dominance down right now, 14.6. Bitcoin dominance, I think it raised a little bit. I want to say it was 42.4 or 42.0. So gas pretty cheap right now, 41 Gwei. Bitcoin above 19,000. Frankie, you were watching the price. Any thoughts on this battle with this like 18 to 20, 21 range?
Yeah, so we were looking at this yesterday in my Discord. We actually we were looking at the an Adam and Eve top that looked like it was gonna play out, and it definitely did play out. We actually bounced perfectly off of a spider line. I know we have our guest today, so I am not prepared with the charts, but you know, the longer time frames are, you know, I said this yesterday. I kind of don't, you know, I think I said it yesterday on this stream. I don't have a I don't really have that much of a bias right now. I really do think I thought it could go in either direction yesterday. I've been a little lighter on the trades lately just because of the scammy price action.
Yeah.
And there are bullish signals on the longer time frames, but what we have to remember about that is they could take time to play out, right? So we could see some shorter term dumps before those longer time frames come in and you know, play out. And then also you want to remember in a bear market, you know, they can be brutal. So for those longer time frames to get, you know, somewhat invalidated or temporarily postponed is not impossible either. So you want to, you know, the trend is your friend, as they say.
Who's typing for BitBoy right now?
Oh, I don't know.
It must be TJ watching remotely. We're being watched by Dad.
Oh no,
Dad's watching.
Dad's watching.
I don't call him that. Y'all call him that. I felt weird just saying that. All right, we look at Ethereum. Ethereum's still holding above 1,000. I kind of want to click. I believe now. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was touching and flirting with that level. Someone said it was literally right at 1,000. And it looks like that support held. It looks like the buy orders came through and prevented it from going below 1,000. Hey, people with those buy orders, that is the way. If you want to get some cheap crypto, that is the best way to try to catch a falling knife. Just put in those. Oh, there's no way it will go that low. Put in a little buy order, and hey, sometimes it does go that low. As Frank was saying, the scammy actions happening right now. XRP down a little bit. I mean, we just basically have everything down slightly. Bitcoin down 4.5%. Pretty tough for the 24-hour. and Ethereum down 7%. So just dragging down the market currently. XRP, we were talking about this, has passed Cardano, now in the number 7 spot. So it's XRP, followed by Cardano, followed by Solana. Solana, obviously way behind its peers, was just eclipsing its two peers greatly. Now things have been reversed. Now we're looking at almost a $4 billion gap right there. Doge still holding strong at 6%, actually falling less than most all the coins we're seeing here in the top 20. Tron down, still in this Doge level of 6 cents. Shiba actually up. I don't know why. Congrats. Those people, hey, I knew it was going to outperform. Looks like you're right. Matic down 10%. If this continues, I think I might double up my market buy and get some Matic with my DCA strategy that, every Friday I get a paycheck. Every Friday I put in a little bit of crypto when I see certain coins at certain levels. Chainlink, if I see this dip below $5.99, hit that $5 range, maybe I'll get a little Chainlink as well. Crow, also waiting for that, right below 10-cent level. Try to get in, but maybe I need to just get in at 11 cents. I got to get some of those Crow NFTs. ETH Classic. Okay, I was just kind of seeing if ETH Classic was going to go up. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of insane price action. Any thoughts? I mean, it's just Bitcoin dragging everything down.
Yeah, for the most part, in my opinion, obviously, Bitcoin's going to do a lot better in a bear market than the alts. The alts will continue to bleed against Bitcoin for the most part, right? But again, the macroeconomic times that we're seeing right now are much different. So, if we're going to see some different stuff play, I've been saying this kind of for a while, just in general, if we're going to see something drastically play out differently, for Bitcoin, now seems like the time.
Someone said, stop dissing Shiba. It's doing better than most Desi. It's Deezy, but okay. You know what? You're right. You're right. But we just like to make fun of the Shiba holders. I'm talking about you, Casino Doggy. No, we're kidding here. Just be careful with the meme coins. They can bleed a disproportionate amount. They can lose. Bitcoin goes down 50%. You can expect a meme coin to go down 80%, 90%, 95%. So we just want to caution and make sure you don't have too much overexposed to these riskier assets. We just want you to be safe with your money. We don't want you to be down too much. But hey, maybe it outperforms all the top 20 coins over the next month. I'm not saying it won't. I'm not saying it can't, because it certainly can. We've seen crazier things, but there is that cycle of crypto where Bitcoin pumps, then Ethereum pumps, then those stronger blue chips pump, and then the meme coins pump, and then everything dumps. And so just be careful if you see Shiba pumping. I mean, it could be saying, maybe some bottoms are going to be coming our way, but just be careful. All right, fear and greed at 10. We're still in that extreme fear area. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think we have to get above 30 before we start touching the greens again. And then let's look at a little trading view. But I believe we got some charts. Are we doing that after the third story?
So usually we let when the guests, because it's blockchain backer, we'll let him kind of look at the charts or whatever. I typically don't do the TA when we have guests.
Okay, basically. And this is the 3-hour chart. I kind of want to look at the 4-hour. We don't have a green dot, but maybe, if we do look at the 2, is it going to maybe, no, it's just things are dropping too hard right now. However, I'm seeing maybe a short-term reversal here. We have as Frank called them, the snake eyes. CryptoFace calls them the snake eyes right here on the 1 hour. But any thoughts on all those yellow X's right there?
Yeah, so that is the one time where I say you kind of want to be careful around those green dots when you have those yellow X's, because when the yellow manipulation X's pop up on Market Cipher, they are very, very, very strong. Let me pull the Mac back up. They're very strong. Typically, they will overpower the green dots, especially in a bear market. You kind of want to take the green dots with a grain of salt as well. But yeah, if you go to the 1 hour, you can kind of see the Adam and Eve that played out almost, like a textbook.
Now, explain an Adam and Eve, because you don't mean a snake giving someone an apple. You don't mean a fig leaf over some privates. What do you mean?
So if you pull up that 1 hour chart,
Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's where we're at here.
Okay, so zoom out and pull it to the right a little bit. So right there, we're looking at the Eve. Now pull it to your right.
I'm trying. It's
it's all
Apple pad.
Oh, the touchpad, the dreaded touchpad.
Look what I'm doing here. Yeah, this is a travesty. I'm right-handed, people. Throw me.
Oh God, I forget that you're like stuck at your.
Yeah. So it's really bad.
Okay, now zoom out if you can a little bit. There it is. Okay, boom. So if you see that first peak on the left, that would be the atom, right? It's kind of a double top formation.
Not
so you
crab fries, not Adam Charles.
No, no.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, karate kick. Sweet.
so you do see that first little peak. That would be the atom, and then that nice rounded top right there would be the eve.
Okay.
And you can get these, in this formation, or you can get them inverse, similar to like head and shoulders or cup and handle. So in this,
Is that implying the lows will reach these lows?
yeah, so it is
Okay.
played out pretty close. It could play out more, but this is basically textbook Adam and Eve here. Someone in my Discord actually pointed this out last night, and we set the a spider line as the target. I don't know if we have the same spider lines on this chart, but it came right down to that spider line.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, that thing is relentless.
Yeah, it's relentlessly trying to force me to open the dictionary on TradingView in the middle of a sea of black. It's like, do you want the dictionary? No. What word do you see near this? Like, none of these are words.
It's pulling up the definition for
Did you
Adam
want
and
the
Eve?
definition of spy? No, I didn't. All right, the expert. We're gonna bring on Mr. Backer here.
Let's do it.
Oh, we got the sorry windows up now. All right, let me.
What's going on, everybody?
Give me a second. I'm one-handed here. All right, I got to break.
Sure. DZ, thank you for having me on the show. Of course.
Yeah, this
Ben, who
whatever
isn't
all
here,
the
but
guests on
always
ATB
appreciate
get to see
coming on
me
here.
do at the beginning of the show. Struggle. What is going on, blockchain backer? How you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, DZ?
Man, I'm
Thank you for
feeling
having
fresh
me.
in my black tee. You fresh in the white tee.
I know I'm on white,
let's,
brother.
Let's do this.
Cool. If you excuse me, my voice is going out a little bit here, but I'll do my best to keep it clear.
He was screaming at the candles all night, saying, "Go up, do something already."
Yeah, right, brother. And I was listening to Frankie talk, and I'm very in the same kind of boat with him on indifference on this, because there's so much conflicting things happening in the charts. And let me pull up a little bit here, toggle screen sharing, show you guys that right there. So, kind of my grand thesis on Bitcoin during the bull run was measuring what previous super cycles had looked like for Bitcoin.
And now, just
throughout
that blue
history.
line, is that the 2013, 15
That
era?
is.
Okay.
Yep.
I knew I
you
recognized that
one
little
from
chart
back there.
pattern.
Yeah. The real interesting thing about it was just how absolutely well the 2018 through 2020 bear market played out in here, where it crashed and then it retraced and then it reaccumulated down here and then went on for one more push. This was kind of my theory for the market before we moved up in there. We played out very similar to that. And you can kind of see, hey, if you're following some type of grand super cycle or whatnot with Bitcoin, and, in most of Bitcoin's bear markets, they pull down 84 to 87%, something like that's going to get you down into that $11,000, $14,000 range. Some of the things that are going on with Bitcoin, and I'm not going to really be able to give a definitive answer on synopsis on what's happening, but one of the issues that is going on with Bitcoin right now, obviously, is the 200-week moving average has been lost in here. And if you look throughout the history of all time, we know that there's never been multiple candle closes that have occurred below here. So it brings into the question the long-term health, or how long of a consolidation or reaccumulation it would take for Bitcoin to get back up when we have an element like this occurring. But there is something very different about that. And that's that whenever these bear markets played out, by the time you got down there, you were already down 82%. But this moving average had crossed up so high, we still haven't even gone the regular of a bear market. So does it really even matter? Is the question. And when we look at like what's happening with price action currently at this exact moment, I'm not seeing anything that's like got me super excited that we're going to reverse. The narrative is pretty tough out there right now, with Three Arrows Capital and Celsius and
quantitative
Voyager
tightening,
Digital.
and Bitcoin's never existed in a state of no quantitative easing. So, that's just a whole nother variable we have to think about.
Yeah. And will it reverse? And the crazy thing about Bitcoin, though, is that it did reverse exactly where it was supposed to. I'm not sure if you're familiar with my content, but I was looking for Bitcoin to come up in here. And the crazy thing about how Bitcoin played out is that, I'm going to show you this real quick if you haven't seen it just yet. We're going to show the structure that Bitcoin was doing from its all-time high was the type of structure you actually have that comes from deep down in the depths of a bear market. And it was very interesting to see that this structure was playing out right up here at the highs, and I'll stretch this out a little bit so we can kind of see what's been happening with prices right now compared to what we've seen before. But you see that kind of absolute perfect match
Yeah.
that happened right there at the top, that Bitcoin acted just like it acted back in 2018's bear market. But what was so interesting about it is how it was happening from the all-time high, whereas this is from like the depths of the bear market. It's so strange, right? But we can see now how prices have kind of continued to meander along in there, and whether or not we're getting near a bottom or not is up for debate. And when I was on here last time, kind of showing like how these, we haven't had any kind of retracement, but if we're assuming that we've kind of like started in a later phase, and that like the peak of market euphoria took place back here in April, when Coinbase IPO'd and Laser Eyes, Diamond Hands, Elon Musk, all that kind of stuff. Just from a time perspective and how long we've gotten out in here, it's interesting. But you go back and you say, how deep has it always gone? It's always gone 85%. So the structure we're seeing right now is not like screaming, hey, here's a huge reversal. And the headlines don't say that either. Like, it's constant liquidations, and like these companies are being like forced into bankruptcy, and they're trying to, going insolvent. But you look over at things like the total market cap of all of crypto, and who would have thought, it's done like this perfect back test of the all-time high from back in 2018. So that's quite interesting to see that the total market cap has reached right there. In addition, when you look at like the altcoin market cap, it's interesting to see that total two, hey, you got it. You got your 200-week moving average coming in there with daily candle closes still holding there above the previous all-time high. But,
okay, this kind of breathes a little life into the previous top theory that a lot of people say is just now invalidated, because we dropped below 20K, so Bitcoin dropped below the previous high for the first time ever. But with this crypto total market cap, kind of gives that theory a little bit of credence if we can continue to hold these levels. That's a big if, though.
It is a big if, and it's a wonder, right? Because we're doing this on that particular market cap chart. Throughout history, though, like when you look at this like super cycle that Bitcoin did have, back in 2013, it did dip back below its all-time high. So it's not unprecedented to see that actually happen, because it has happened before. And I think the thing that kind of got a lot of people confused on saying it's never happened before is that we've separated these into being separate bull runs. But really, when you take this whole bull run in here and you come in here and apply it, you can see that the stop that happened in 2018 through 2020 was just a part of the grand super cycle heading up. So heading back below the all-time high is not something that hasn't happened before. It has, just we're used to seeing it happen really fast. We're just kind of working on a much longer time frame.
Yeah, like a really scammy 4-hour candle. With just insane order book action, where you look at that ByBit app and it's just they're fighting the buyers and the sellers. It's just constant fluctuations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm kind of I kind of want to know what you think about this. I'm kind of under the impression that I consider the May top the true top. I think with our inflation and just the money printing, I feel the actual value of Bitcoin was higher in May than it was November. Now, if you price it in US dollars, it isn't higher, but if you were to price it in pounds of copper, gallons of milk, pounds of beef, I think the purchasing power of Bitcoin peaked in May. And so I've been doing a lot of my timeline stuff where, traditionally 1 year after this all-time high X happens. I've been using May as my timeline versus November. Any thoughts on that?
I think that's really interesting. The real crazy thing about Bitcoin in November is that it was reaching out to like a 4.236 Fibonacci extension. I hope your audience is familiar with that, or you're familiar with that.
We talk fib
it
levels
was like this
occasionally.
Okay, it was a perfect hit for November. But the on-chain data, the on-chain analysis, and really if you just think back to when was the most exciting time, when were retail investors here like crazy? And I'm sure it was like for you guys, when were you getting the most views on your YouTube channel, right? When were you getting the most engagement? All of that was taking place there in March, April, and May. And that was when the real exciting time of the moment of the market happened. And we noticed that the altcoin market the majority of the altcoin market did not go on some big run as Bitcoin reached out to that all-time high back there in November. So it certainly seems that from like an activity level, a sentiment level, and euphoria level, that the top of the market came in back there in March, April, and May, in which Coinbase IPO'd into it. And so I can resonate with the idea that you have there, is even when we look at like structurally of what has happened in here in this phase of just having no retracement, right? Just straight up going down in here. It's as if the top of the market was back in here, even though the price structure is a little different. And that, you know, when you're heading down into final capitulation and ending in here, you just don't have any kind of retracement happening in here. And that all the peak and euphoria took place way back over here. And including in the fact that we were showing how that this whole fractal, this whole behavior in here was acting and mirroring exactly what this.
Yeah, I call it a dead cat on steroids. I believe they juiced it. They juiced the market. So I just call it a dead cat on steroids. Now, the chat was wondering, and now I can't unsee it. They say it looks like your nose comes off if you take off your glasses. To be clear, that's not a Groucho Marx outfit. Okay, chat. It's okay. It's okay. He's not using a face mask or anything like that. All right, well, man, blockchain backer, really, really good stuff.
Dude,
I appreciate you coming by.
Have fun, brother. Thanks for bringing me on here, man.
Yeah. Next time we'll have to get some Yep and My White Tea playing as your intro music.
All right, dude.
All right, appreciate it. All right, man.
Thanks for
you're our chart guy, Frank. Any thoughts on that? Quick thoughts on that.
First off, I want to say Blockchain Backer is one of my favorite other content creators, just for the sole fact that it's so refreshing to see somebody take such a level. I mean, number one, he is, his fractals that he follows and stuff are super impressive. He's definitely a very, very intelligent person, but it's just super refreshing to see somebody attack the markets with such a level head. He's not jumping on there being like, look at this bullish signal, it's going, bull market's back on. He's very, very level-headed and approaches everything objectively. He keeps the emotions out of it, and I absolutely love that about Blockchain Backer. Super smart guy.
Yeah, he said. Someone in the chat said, "Final capitulation." Sounds like it's from Mortal Kombat. I agree. Let me get these.
Yeah, and also, when he explains when he talks about how all the euphoria and stuff happened at that first top, it does make a lot of sense. Even looking back at the Google search term analytics, everything peaked out at that first top. That second top, you can look at, you look at so many different metrics, and just nothing was peaking like it was at that first, top. So
Yeah.
definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I haven't done the research, but maybe it's something to look into. But I think you pick and choose your commodity. You're buying more with 1 Bitcoin in April than you are in November. Sheets of plywood, pork belly futures, 2 liters of Fago. Like, no matter what your commodity is, I'm pretty sure you're
Pork belly futures.
You're getting less. You're getting less in November versus May. That's just my thought. I don't know. I'd have to do some more research on that, but I think you have to look very hard to find some commodities where that isn't true. All right, well, let's get into the stories here. Already almost 12. Bitcoin dumps to 11-day low beneath 20K as the global markets tumble. It's taking another turn for the worse, plummeting behind the coveted 20K mark. Most alts are definitely in the red today, with ETH close to breaking through that 1,000 and Solana dumping by the double digits. Of course, SHIB was up. As of now, Bitcoin continues to trade inches above that level, and its market cap has dumped to 270. As typically happens when it goes south, so do most of the alts. Ethereum leading this adverse trend with that 7% we were looking at earlier. And as a result, they were down to just above $1,000 and has lost over $200 in just days. And with the lower to mid cap alts deep in the red, we can see another $40 billion wiped out. So, Adam, one of your coins, it's modest, it's up modestly. XCN, Leo, and SHIB. Some of the ones reversing the trend here. That FTT, that starts getting towards $20, man. I might have to, drop a Benjamin. Get like 5 of those joints. I think it can hit $200 the next bull run. That's just my thoughts. Can't stop, won't stop. P Diddy and other Bitcoin hodlers buy the dip at 20K. Rockefeller Records, they get down, baby. Everyone expects another Bitcoin capitulation event, but data suggests that mass buying has already started. Okay. Some of the whales may be reversing course. Dissecting Glassnode data, Checkmate reveals that the smallest and the largest players are both in buy mode around 20K, splitting the hodler base into 4 sections. No, spitting the hodler base into 4 sections. Shrimps, hit that like button if you're a shrimp like me. Crabs, also known as classic hodlers. Crab, also known as crips, right? Sharks and whales, the figure makes for some surprising readings. Both the shrimps and the crabs, I don't know if I like that. The smallest retail investors with 10 Bitcoin or less, hit that like button if you don't have 10 Bitcoin in their wallets, are not only stacking, but doing so more intensely than at any time since the first time it hit 20 in 2017. That's funny. They're buying more. They're buying the most since the last time they bought this much. When was the last time? When they were FOMOing in at the top at 2017. We haven't seen action like this since they FOMO'd in at the worst time possible. The main exception lies in the middle. The sharks or the institutional high net entities with between 10 and 1,000 to their name, they have borne the brunt of the macro changes. And even here, the overall trend is up. Bounces are increasing, but nothing special. Given the S show, I expect these guys are heavily affected by deleveraging and margin calls. We've kind of talked about this. Right now is not a great time to trust the on-chain data because of all the macro news with the exchanges. A lot of people are getting their things off of exchanges, so just be wary thinking something might be, accumulation when it could just be consolidation. DZ, NFT boss, Frankie Candles, chart boss, Jimmy Void, Boogie Down, Bronx, Bitcoin Bulls. I'll let you throw the shout out to Jimmy. It's your New York ally.
Shout out to Jimmy Two Shoes. We love Jimmy Two Shoes on the channel. One of our biggest supporters. We love him. Actually, Aaron, one of our main videographers here at the office, was wearing one of the Jimmy Void T-shirts last night.
Yeah, and it's a great character on Bob's Burgers as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's his rival from across the street. His son loves to dance. All right, let's talk a little Grayscale sues move. Sues U.S. SEC for rejecting its Bitcoin ETF application. Wow, that did not take long. So obviously, SEC rejecting it. This could be part of the crypto tumble. But very quickly, they said they have sued the SEC after they got rejected for the proposal to list the spot Bitcoin ETF. SEC had said the proposal to list the ETF did not meet the standard designed to prevent fraudulent practices and protect investors. This came from Grayscale. If regulators are comfortable with ETFs that hold derivatives of a given asset, they should logically be comfortable with ETFs that hold the same asset. I would agree. Now, are we going to go into conspiracy theory land and say this was rejected because they want the price lower or the banks told them so? Or do you think, maybe it just didn't meet these minimum thresholds?
It is interesting. It's like all this stuff happens so conveniently in a bear market, right? It's like, how can we go lower? Bitcoin ETF gets rejected. Like, it's just, this stuff, it's just crazy how this stuff happens and the timing of it all. But I do think it's interesting. What do you think about them suing the SEC? It's like, you didn't approve me. Now I'm going to sue you.
I think they're much more likely to settle versus XRP. And I was listening to podcasts This Week in Startups, and they said they think that SEC will settle with Ripple. And I was like, I think I strongly disagree with that. I think if that would have happened, it would have happened already. But Grayscale, I see that being more of a settlement likelihood. I don't know if, because XRP fighting the SEC ignites their fan base, excites their fan base. They love it. Grayscale, I think they have a different customer base, and I don't think they would be as keen. Shout out to people who say keen. I don't think they would be as happy to sue the SEC. I think that's a little too much.
Yeah, and hey, we just had blockchain background. We should have asked him when he thought we didn't ask him when he thought the lawsuit would end, right?
Yeah, read the Bible. It's not an apple. It's just forbidden fruit. That's right. It actually is forbidden fruit. And it originally was an apple with Norseman mythology, and so they had an apple. Yeah, you know how all those stories kind of have parallels to stories that preceded them by thousands of years. Just a coincidence. So, first spot Bitcoin ETF approved to launch in Europe in July. So we have a little bit of a silver lining. Rejected in America. However, maybe in Europe things can be, maybe go the other way. For reference, EU's assets are similar to US's. Jacoby Asset Management has said it will launch a European spot Bitcoin ETF this July. It will be named the Jacoby Bitcoin ETF, or the JBE, listed on the Euronext Amsterdam. Commented that this will enable investors to access the underlying performance of this exciting asset class via a well-established and trusted investment structure. Too many adjectives there for me. And aims to make digital asset investments simpler and more familiar to institutional and professional investors. So this seems pretty good. This will allow spot Bitcoin ETF in Europe and will likely give institutions such. And this is why it's so key. It's easy for pension funds, mutual funds, and insurance companies a pathway into Bitcoin that was currently unavailable. Your grandpa's longshoreman's pension fund, he gets his $500 a month. They can't easily buy Bitcoin. There's too many rules, too many regulations. Something like this just allows them to do it without having to buy MicroStrategy stock, Marathon Digital stock, more of a closely correlated, it's a 1-to-1, hopefully is a correlation there instead of, 0.8 or whatever some of these other things are, a little bit off on that. All right. Talk again on the ETFs. ProShare Short ETF becomes the second largest Bitcoin fund in record time. How do you feel about the short happening this late after, say, April?
Yeah.
Or maybe November. Say even November. Remember, that was 7-8 months ago. But just now, after we've bled, how far have we dropped percentage-wise?
I think it's close to, I haven't measured it in what,
I want to say
70, it's 70-something percent.
Yeah, 20K is roughly 70-ish.
Yeah.
So, traditionally Bitcoin drops, 82. If I had to guess, to say maybe 81% this time. Let's just go up and say 85%. They released this short ETF after it's already fallen 70%. But now they say, come on, new money. Put your money in this short. Don't worry if it's fallen 70 and usually typically falls 80 to 85. It's going to go lower. It's going to go lower. So I don't think they planned for it to open this late. It's just interesting that now they want people to invest their money into shorts, and we've fallen considerably already. So just food for thought there. This ETF caters exclusively to investors who are not looking to be exposed to the digital asset for a long period of time, and has found acceptance in the space. Although started out slowly, inflows have quickly ramped up, and by Monday, they now hold about 939. And this is due to the excessive short Bitcoin ETFs in the past. Reasonable amount of inflows was expected, but with less than 1 week, it surpassed expectations. So, coinciding with the low actions, or with the low price action here, and the streak of the SEC Commission approving ETFs have been mostly skewed towards long exposure. Hence, an ETF that caters to the bearish investors have long been overdue. So, I have no plans on buying this. Would this been a great move in November? Would this been a great move in December? Of course. But would it be a great time now? That's maybe a little bit of a stretch. All right. What do you think about this guy? This guy, KB Lame, he just passed, was it Charlie D'Amelio or Allison Ray? I think it was Charlie was number one. It's the number one followed TikTok account. TikTok, the number one watched app with the highest amount of monthly active users and the highest amount of screen time in the entire globe. And this is the number one guy on the number one app. And Binance taps him to drive Web3 adoption. You ever watch his channel? You know who he is, right?
I've not watched.
It's the guy that goes like this. Like people do some complicated way of
okay.
like, here's how to seal your Ziploc bag, and it's like a broomstick and a mop stick, and and he's just like
the guy from the thumbnail. I think he was on the thumbnail. Yeah, he's on the thumbnail today. Yeah, he's awesome. That guy.
Yeah, it's a great account.
These TikTokers have a crazy amount of followers. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like I'm
torn on TikTok, man. Because it is not a great app for our citizens to own or to use.
Yeah, they hate me on TikTok.
I justify it by saying, you know what? I'm not a senator's son. I'm not a Navy SEAL. I'm not some asset that the CCP wants to target. I'm not worried about it. I'm not doing crazy things on my phone. I'm not sending nudes or anything, today at least. I'm sorry, BJ. I'll send you yours tomorrow. But I'm not worried. But like, if I was a senator, I would not allow my children to use it. I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't allow my staffers to use it, because then they can get compromat on your family. You get some, let's just say, some explicit photos of a senator's child, then you could maybe twist their arm in a certain direction.
Yep.
But Yeah, so it's just this, man, I use it though. It is a good app. Like, I hate to admit it.
It's
We
addicting,
watch
that's
it a
for
lot.
sure.
It's a great app.
Yo, DZ,
I
check
hate
out this
that it
TikTok I
lags.
just saw. It was
Yeah, we
hilarious.
do it all the time. Like, oh man, you got to see this. Oh, you got to
Yep.
see this. But all right. Speaking of it, all right. So, but this is big news. This is very, very. This guy has a huge reach. A lot of people putting eyeballs on him every day. Crypto exchange Binance has partnered with, I think it's Khaby or Khaby. Khaby Lame, the most followed creator on TikTok, to increase awareness for Web3. He would act as a global brand ambassador for the exchange and helping to debunk myths surrounding crypto and blockchain space. They told Cointelegraph that with his signature content style, Lame will be creating content that clears up misconceptions around Web3. With so much nuance around Web3 and misinformation in the world, it was a perfect match to have him on board to help debunk some of the myths around this space. And apart from creating content around Web3 and clearing up the myths, he will also be creating NFT collections with Binance with the goal of enhancing engagement with his fans. So I think it's good. The more people get educated, a lot of the younger people just kind of have this idea of what crypto is, and they just think, oh, you're into NFTs, you like burning rainforests. And, they don't understand proof of stake blockchains. They don't understand, flaring of natural gas and how Bitcoin in weird ways can actually help the energy industry's efficiency model or efficiency coefficient. So there's a lot of good things about blockchain that people just aren't aware of. So I think he'd be a great ambassador. What do you think?
I would agree. I'm on chat. They're doing the DZ versus stuff right now.
Any
DZ
good
versus
ones?
shoelaces.
DZ versus, yeah, I can't tie my shoelaces. That is weird.
That is
that someone, yeah. I mean, maybe I mentioned it in passing, but yeah, I can't tie my shoelaces. Or if I can, it takes a very, very long time. I actually did tie my shoe today. It was actually very complicated. It was difficult. I had to use my one finger that kind of works in my right hand to I kind of made a loop with my left hand, press it down hard against my shoe with one finger, and
they also said DZ versus paint.
These fingers,
or bird poop.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. What do you think of this?
Oh, there you
Think
go.
it's bird poop.
Also, guys, don't.
That tastes like sunflower seeds. And
if you guys have any questions for the Q&A, throw them in there so I can start saving them.
Yeah, toothpaste on the toothbrush. Some of these people know the struggle. Some of
Yeah.
these things are very difficult. Yeah. There are. Yeah, Velcro shoes. No, I'm gonna wear sport Crocs. I just wait for them to come in the mail. No, it's not DZ versus pasta. It's DZ versus steaks. I haven't had a steak since breaking my arm because I can't cut
You
meat.
can't cut it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'll help you out, DZ. If you want to eat a steak, I got you.
Girlfriend have to wife.
I'll hold the fork.
I have one hand. How many do you need? That's the better question. All right, we're
Off the rails.
off the rails. Our handlers are quite disappointed. I'm sure.
Yes.
All right, sticking with Binance here, from the TikTok star to assisting Cambodia in developing crypto regulations. They have signed a memorandum of understanding with the SEC of Cambodia. Oh, no, not the SEC, the CERC. Binance and CERC will work together to develop crypto regulations in the country. They're looking to leverage Binance's technical expertise and experience in the field to develop its own legal framework for the digital asset digital asset market. And the partnership could prove pivotal for the South Asian country where crypto-linked activity has been deemed illegal since 2018. So it looks like they realized they're missing the boat on Web3. Asia has become a crypto hotspot over the years, with several nations in the region adopting a pro-crypto approach. Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines have come up with progressive regulations to promote the use of crypto in their countries. And while Western crypto companies are buying Super Bowl ads and sports stadium rights, Binance is ruthlessly and custodially taking over emerging markets in Asia, Africa, Middle East, and Latin America. They are #winning. Shout out to Charlie. Man, yeah. What do you feel about that? What do you feel about the difference in strategy? Because there is this strategy of more normies, I guess is for lack of a better term, are definitely more familiar with crypto.com. They're familiar with FTX because of largely arena naming rights and the such. But Binance, they're just building and they're hiring and they're doing these back alley government deals, backroom government deals. What do you feel is the better strategy here?
I mean, listen, Binance also just came out with the zero trading fees, which is absolutely huge. But like you said, FTX, Crypto.com is absolutely everywhere with the advertising. That is one thing I will say. Crypto.com is undefeated in advertising. It seems like every time we go on a trip,
They have Jason Bourne.
but
Can't beat that.
it's insane. I mean, every time we go on a trip, crypto.com is absolutely everywhere. In Vegas, it's on the side of buildings. It's on bridges, it's on billboards. You know, obviously they have a big deal with the UFC. Me and Brian from MetaMoney went to an F1 race. Crypto.com was absolutely everywhere, and I think that's really smart because Crypto.com knows where the whales are, and they're at F1 races.
Yeah.
And we now know that because me and Brian felt pretty out of place. There was probably $1 million of watches surrounding us at any given point at the F1 race. It was insane.
Crypto.com uses the Kronos network, and Kronos is EVM compatible. To break that down, it means you can use it with your MetaMask. I have a complete breakdown right here. We did this video 2 days ago on NFT Alpha. So if you want to know more about Crypto.com's native asset, watch that video. And then, you know, so that's the first half. If you want to know how to buy that NFT, stick around for the second half. But if you just want to know how to add it to your account, that's a great video for that. So break down all the right things to type in. Honestly, don't trust Google when you're looking at how to add something to your MetaMask. Never trust Google with MetaMask ever. Like whether it's markets, how to add a chain, any of that. Just trust YouTube and watch like an influencer you trust and watch their screen, how they do it, type in the same things. Just be very careful with targeted ads with Google because they will try to clone websites and steal your crypto. You got to be real careful. It'll be like one letter different and, you know, a capital I instead of a lowercase L or something like that. Next thing you know, you're losing everything. So just be careful out there, folks. All right. Ready to talk a little OpenSea? Did you see about this? OpenSea NFT marketplace suffers email address data breach. Customer.io employee accessed their email database and shared it with an unauthorized external party, the NFT marketplace said. They warned of potential phishing attacks and an attack with an announcement of the data breach. They leaked the database. The top marketplace published a blog post early today warning its community that an employee of its email vendor had shared the list. I wonder what they got for that because, you know, they sold that for money. OpenSea warned users to be wary of potential phishing attacks following the breach, saying there may be a heightened likelihood for email phishing attempts. It also warned users against sharing crypto wallet passwords and signing transactions posted via email links. Also said it's looking into the incident with customer.io. That guy's probably going to get jail time. We are working with them in their ongoing investigation and have reported this incident to law enforcement. That guy is definitely facing jail time, I think. This is a very serious data breach. The email list of OpenSea, I mean, that's now that it's out there, it might be out there to more than one actor because obviously sold it to a sketchy party. And what's that sketchy party going to do with it? Did they try to sell it? Did they sell it to other people? Is that person still free? Are they shopping around for other buyers for this email list? So just be very careful out there. Never trust. You know what I said? Don't trust Google. You can't even trust your email sometimes. So just be very, very careful how you get information when you're interacting with your wallets. Just be very careful. Be educated. You don't want to lose anything. Any thoughts on OpenSea? Just seems to be catching L's left and right. Although they still have the lion's share of NFT volume, man, it's just, it really feels like a competitor is maybe going to just, I don't know, are they too big? Is it they couldn't grow fast enough?
I mean, listen, it is again very convenient. Like all this stuff happens in the bear market. It's like we just cannot catch a break, right? Exchanges continuing to struggle. This stuff happens with OpenSea. It's just what the ETF gets rejected. It's just one thing after another. It's when it rains, it pours, is what it seems like. I mean, it's just crazy that this all and it's happened before, right? In previous bear markets, all this bad news, things start to really struggle. It's just crazy that it always happens in the bear market.
Some of the verses, you can't show it, but it had something versus R. Kelly.
I saw that.
DZ versus R. Kelly. I'm out here fighting for my life. All right.
They said Frank's gonna mama bird DZ with steak.
I'm just gonna need you to put him in a leg lock.
Do they?
Choke him out. All right, let's talk a little North Korea here. Infamous North Korea hacker group identified as a suspect. We kind of covered this last night, so seems like more reports are rolling in saying we do believe that it was the North Korea regime that was responsible for this Harmony hack. It looks like they targeted the login credentials of Harmony employees in the Asia Pacific region to breach the protocol security system. They noted that hackers have already transferred over 40% of the 100 million to Tornado Mixer, which is an Ethereum-based mixing service that obscures transaction data and makes it extremely difficult for investigators to trace the movement of funds. I don't think it's that extremely difficult for investigators to trace once we reach the millions, because every single hack that has happened in these high levels, they've tracked the money. So I don't think you can get away with moving $100 million through mixers. That's just my understanding of it. I don't know what that number is where you can get away with it. I'm not trying to say, yeah, if you're going to steal money, steal less than 200,000, you get away with it. I don't know what the number is. 2 million, 10 million. But once you get 100 million, 600 million, they definitely know where it's going. It's tornado mixers have a daily volume. There's a certain amount that it just kind of regularly has. So when someone influxes 40 million so far, it just sends it off the chart. So it's easy to see, like, yeah, I put in $1 million, then it mixed it with 17 wallets, and it's like, well, we just had a huge spike in mixing volume. I think, they kind of put 2 and 2 together. That's all I'm gonna say. There's ways. It's not as easy to get away with as you would think. Tornado mixer, oh, I get away with it forever. That's not how it works. So I don't know why I'm trying to give hackers advice here. All right, are you trying to scam people out of $100 million? Write this down. I'm gonna tell you how to do it successfully. No, don't scam people. Just I believe in karma, though. That's just me. Yeah, what goes around comes around.
Absolutely.
All right. Speaking of karma, we got like good guy Greg over here. FTX walked away from a deal with Celsius after seeing the state of its finances. I saw this tweet breakdown, and it's about to get scary. Buckle up. I hope you're sitting down. FTX was interested in making a deal with Celsius, but walked away after they saw they had a $2 billion hole in their balance sheet, one source said. Now, these are anonymous sources, so just, take this with a grain of salt. But they looked into making a deal with Celsius, but ultimately walked away. 2 people with knowledge of the matter told The Block, and they began talks. But after Celsius had that $2 billion hole in its balance sheet, FTX found the company difficult to deal with, one of the sources said. Amid its financial woes, Celsius has remained almost silent. Its last official update was issued on June 19th, 11 days ago now, when the company said its objective continues to be stabilizing our liquidity and operations. This process takes time. They're resisting a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. Recommendation from its lawyers, people with the knowledge of the situation, told earlier this week. The firm instead has begun seeking a show of support from users to help win the internal argument against its own legal advisors. I have a little exposure to Celsius, not a whole lot, not a lot compared to a lot of people in this office, not a lot compared to Ben and TJ, not a lot compared to a lot of you viewers. But yeah, I lost a little tether, lost a couple ETH. It sucks. I might walk away with pennies on the dollar. I might walk away with nothing. Maybe I get 2 ETH back 10 years from now, and when ETH's $10,000 and I get my value at the time of the collapse. So I get 0.21 ETH. I don't know what's going to happen. But I write it off as loss at this point. To me, it's not that large amount, so it doesn't, keep me up at night to say I just lost all that money, but that's just how I'm looking at it. If you're wondering, I just consider those 2 ETH gone forever. You didn't have any exposure to any of these exchanges, correct?
No. So, yeah, I don't stake as much as I probably should. But it was the 2 I was looking at. If I were to stake something, I stake a little bit on KuCoin, but if I were really going to stake something, I was looking at BlockFi or Celsius. Both. It's crazy. I know we have a lot of people here that lost a bunch of money or potentially could lose a lot of money. It's a crazy situation. Celsius and BlockFi, the reason I was looking at them was because they seemed so trusted.
Yes.
It's just crazy.
And a lot of people using it. I was mostly going off of George's recommendation for a lot of these things, but I remember just thinking 20% just seems so crazy.
Yeah.
And even me, I'm a DGen, so even I had hesitations with the 20%, but when I saw 7% or 8% and ETH 2.0 staking offers, and people are, kind of betting on this and that, and I was just like, yeah, it seems safe.
Yeah.
It seems safe. It's 1/3 of what Terra Luna was given,
Yeah.
7 to 20%.
Yeah, it's somewhat real. It's not like you're getting 100,000% APY.
Yeah, it didn't seem that wild to me, but obviously, I paid the price. And now I'm paying the piper. But all right, let's talk a little 3AC. Again, with the FTX kind of news. 3 Arrows Capital provided false information and exceeded assets under management threshold, MAS states. Central Bank alleged, and the MAS is the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and said that the hedge fund provided misleading information and also surpassed the assets under management threshold permitted for a registered fund management company. Furthermore, 3AC did not notify the regulators regarding changes in the directorships and shareholdings of its directors within the required timeline, so a little late with paperwork. It's been significantly invested in a number of troubled projects, including Terra, and Voyager Digital issued a default notice after 3AC failed to make the payments on its loan of 15,000 Bitcoin and 350 million USDC. Latest development comes after the British Virgin Islands court ordered the crypto hedge fund into liquidation. So a lot of things just happening with different countries. You got to remember, these corporations, they operate internationally. So you're going to have Singapore authorities after you, US authorities after you, EU authorities after you, all these authorities after you, South Korea. Where are you based at? Where do you have offices at? So there's going to be a lot of dominoes to fall. It's going to be very tough. They're not paying lawyer fees in one country. They're going to be paying a lot of lawyer fees all over the place. So just not looking good for Three Arrows Capital. DZ versus one push-up. I can well, I don't know about it anymore, but I used to be able to do a couple one-arm push-ups. There's a cheat to it. You know the cheat to the one-arm push-up?
Yeah, I don't know the cheat, but
spread
they
your
are
feet.
just so awkward.
You just got to like spread your feet, make a triangle, and something about the
Gotcha.
physics of it makes it a lot easier. I
Gotcha.
don't know. DZ is a young Pacino. Hooah!
We did get a comment from Palmetto Nick. He says, the DZ Frankie duo on here has been super fun lately. Love the synergy. Let's go.
Love it. If you like the synergy, please hit that like button. But conversely, if you're ready for Ben to get back from vacation, hit that like button anyways. And you'll see the likes and you'll say, you know what? They missed me. I need to hurry back. You know what, honey? Pack your bags. I'm hosting Friday. And just a heads up, I might not host ATB tomorrow. I'm in the midst of moving, so maybe I'll just do the morning stream, then dip out. But I got to move one arm, so give me a little extra time, okay? I got the movers coming Saturday. DZ does no arm push-ups. All right. Someone maybe has watched Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. I can only do one, though. All right. Coinbase reportedly selling U.S. geolocation data to U.S. Immigration Agency. Let's say that one more time. Again, this is reportedly. Coinbase selling your geolocation data to U.S. Immigration Agency. That is the what is that that branch called? Oh yeah, ICE. That used to be my gaming team. I should have known that. Crypto. I wasn't like for Immigration Customs Enforcement. I wasn't like a .gov gaming team. Like, yeah, he works for Immigration Customs Enforcement. No, it was Invincible Crew Entertainment, ICE Entertainment. So no, I didn't work. Look, I'm a first generation immigrant, so I don't know if I'd pass the background check. Thoughts on the timeline comparison between Bitcoin bottoms versus altcoin? I think we're losing just real quick on that. I don't want to speak about bottoms because the tops I know a little bit better. Typically, Bitcoin would top, ETH a month later, meme coins a month after that. I think that's been consolidated down into weeks versus months. So that's my
DZ versus getting money out of his wallet. That's got to be a hard one.
That's not great. It sucks having one pocket, but you know what? It gives me extra sympathy for women whose jeans don't have pockets.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Tough.
That's rough. Yeah,
it's tough, and not every woman carries a purse. So yeah, I feel you. I'm trying to put everything in one pocket. It sucks. My phone's too big. All right, let's talk about ICE. Not Gucci Mane. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase apparently will be providing the U.S. ICE agency with data about their crypto users. This will include their historical geo-tracking data as well as their transaction history. Coinbase entered a smaller arrangement with ICE in August of 21 for a total value of $30,000 to offer the licenses for its analytics software. What's more, U.S. Secret Service purchased licenses to use Coinbase Tracer in April 21 and May 2020 from Coinbase. The cost of each of these licenses was less than $50K. I don't think the story is they sold out our data for $30K. They sold out our data for $50K. It's not about the money. That's just a token amount. It's they didn't stand up to the government. We could talk trash about Google all we want, but Google has a very strong track record of fighting subpoenas from government agencies. Apple used to have a very strong track record fighting agencies' subpoenas for search warrants and passwords and the such. Kind of been reversing course as of late. I don't know why. Maybe that's just the direction Tim Cook is taking it. But Steve Jobs was very against, sharing any kind of data to government agencies. So it's frustrating that Coinbase is, maybe leaning into that direction. I think Coinbase maybe is trying to think long term. If we play nice with these federal agencies, maybe SEC, CFTC, maybe these other agencies will kind of, look at us a little more favorably. That's my guess, because it's why else would they do that?
Yeah.
I mean, Ben's uncle. What gives? You know what I mean? Like fight
Uncle
it
Brian.
like Google. But that's Google. I mean, I understand Google has a larger war chest, and it's like, we have more money than you. Like, what are you gonna do? All right, Coinbase. Speaking of Coinbase, adds support for staking Solana. What do you think about that? Staking, now the 7th token that could be staked on Coinbase. What do you think it's going to be, like point something percent?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine very much.
Can't be real high, right? The minimum balance you need to start staking is $1. Woo! Pay out every 7 days. In order to stake it, user must have their identity validated on the platform and reside in a location in which staking is allowed. I actually need to update my identity. I got to take another picture of my license before August. So that's something I need to do, because Coinbase is my fiat on-ramp. So in the chat, if you happen to know what that percentage is, I don't know why that story didn't share it with us. Maybe it's not publicly available, but yeah, I'd be interested to see what it is. Is it like 0.15? It doesn't move the needle. If it's 2%, sure, maybe. I have all that Solana I stacked from stepping when back when you could step for like $100 in a day. So I have to do something with it. Might as well. Solana, I'm not selling my Solana at these prices. Do I think it could go to $20 again? Sure. DZ, do a meltdown. Oh, I'm not gonna do a meltdown. Only if it's got to be natural. It's got to be natural. I'm more of a easy, calm guy. Easy DZ. They call me that for a reason.
Easy DZ.
Not because of how I acted when I was younger. All right, XRPL reaches critical developmental threshold. The details. Where's that XRP army at? Hit that like button, please, if you love some XRP. The server software that powers the ledger is called Rippled and is available in this repository under the permissive ISC open source license. Ripple and its engineers have been caretakers and contributors to this reference implementation of the protocol code base for the past decade. But now the official repo for this code is under the XRP Ledger Foundation. What is this? Cryptosaurus. Okay, I was going to say, this is much, much nerdier than the average crypto article, correct? Like, this is, really, really getting into the weeds of the tech here. The wide range of validators. Yeah, this is a little too tech heavy here, but they recently did announce their Innovate Challenge with a total prize pool of close to 200K. This aims to inspire programmers to build some XRP apps capable of running on the XRP ledger and support those retail CBDCs. Final round submissions due on the 25th. So we have XRP building, kind of taking pages out of Binance's book. They're not advertising. They're just hiring and building. So people love to hate on XRP. I kind of, when I first got into crypto, I saw how cheap it was. I thought it was, I got to get more of this coin. It's great. As I got into crypto, I was like, oh my God, it's a scam. But then as I got deeper into crypto, I said, okay, I mean, it's hard to discount teams that are just hiring like crazy during the bear market. Like, you can say whatever you want, TZ XRP hater.
Yeah, I just saw that.
You say whatever you want about it, but like, that's a bullish scenario. And I give them props for fighting the SEC. That wasn't an easy choice to make. They could have settled. They had the money to settle. You got to remember, this started when crypto was a little bit more exciting. I don't know what the price of XRP was around that time, but when Bitcoin was pumping XRP above $1, they had the money to settle, and they chose not to. So I find it, something maybe to applaud. You can hate on them all you want, but you got to give credit where credit is due. Unfortunately, what are your thoughts on XRP?
Listen, I get why people hate XRP. I totally understand. I talk about this on my channel sometimes. People hate on XRP, for the the sole fact that Ripple owns so much, obviously. But my thing is, I totally get it, right? We're all in this, for decentralization, to have less, less interaction from the powers that be. But you don't want to forget, I always say, like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm not here to make money, right? And although, XRP obviously in the lawsuit could, I do think the risk to reward is really good for XRP. So I am here to make money also. And if I see a good opportunity, I'm not going to take that opportunity because it goes against some of my beliefs.
Okay, so you're in the camp of don't hate it, don't date it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I just trade it, baby.
Just trade it. Don't hate it. Don't date it. Just trade it, baby.
That's right.
All right. Do we have any other questions before we end it? We went a little long today. It's that Frank Deasy camaraderie.
Dude, we're just got to find our stride here.
We just be flowing, man.
Yeah, that's right. Plus, the chat wasn't really helping us out either. We got one question.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, we have one question from Mantis. This was one of the only legitimate questions I could find.
You're talking about, I heard he went by Trash Man in the wrestling ring. He has a giant, anyways, bing bong.
Bing bong. Bing bong. Okay, so Mantis asks, going to start to DCA about 50K into the market, what to buy at what percent? So I guess he's asking kind of like a portfolio split.
I go risky. Again, you always hear the same answer, and it's frustrating. I'm going to give that same. It depends on your risk profile. Forget that. But it is depending on that. I'll tell you my last 4 coins because someone asked me: Bitcoin, Cardano, I think, Ape, and Matic. Bitcoin, Matic, Ape. I think maybe Cardano. I'm not sure if it was Cardano, but it was definitely those were 3 of them. So yeah, I got a little Bitcoin. Some people, I think George says 50% Bitcoin, 25% Ethereum, 25% alts. That's actually riskier than most influencers will tell you. They'll tell you 80% Bitcoin, 10% ETH, or up to 90% between Bitcoin and ETH. I have lower Bitcoin exposure than 50%. Now, I don't recommend that. I think we could take some legs down, but I'm here for strong. Oh, Chainlink. It was Chainlink, not Cardano. Sorry, I have a love.
Of course,
I flip Cardano NFTs, so I steadily make Cardano. But yeah, I would say if you're buying safe blue chips, you can lower that Bitcoin percentage. If you're buying things not in the top 20 market cap, maybe in the top 500 market cap, you're going to want a higher percentage of Bitcoin because when that bull run starts, that Bitcoin should shrink if you choose right, if you choose correctly. So because I'm buying stronger projects, I'm not going to have these wild fluctuations. And there's something to be said about man, do the scattergun, effect. Invest in 30 coins, 40 coins. You don't know what will 100x. That's great until you start getting too many wallets, too many exchanges, too many accounts, too many things to worry about, too many coins to track, too many coins to follow the news. Oh no, they building or firing or scam or hack. And you just be careful. How much time do you have in a day? Let that factor into your decision too. If you got all the time in the world, you're retired, you can track your 30 coins like it's the back of your hand, buy 30 coins. If you're busy, you got kids, you got a job, maybe buy 3 coins, 8 coins, would be maybe be the most I would recommend. So it all depends on that. I'm going to have a lower Bitcoin exposure than most people, but I have a great Ethereum exposure. So to me, that kind of evens out. What's your strategy?
I am in a very, very similar situation. And I would give a, if your rich uncle comes over to you, right? Like I would give, if someone that has a lot of money comes up to me, I would steer them in a little bit of a different direction. But for the regular person, I kind of in a similar situation to you. I have a little less Bitcoin exposure than I think a lot of people. But I have a lot of Ethereum exposure. So I kind of see that as the difference, right? Ethereum, more gain potential, still not a super, super risky alt. Obviously, it's like the blue chip alt.
Yeah, Bitcoin falls 85%, Ethereum falls 89.
Right.
Right.
It's rather
than 99 to Bitcoin's 85.
Right. Rather than your meme coin that drops, 99%. But yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum, this is kind of what I just recommend to people. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP if you're feeling frisky. Because I know everybody gets freaked. They're in a lawsuit. Oh my God. So a little bit higher risk there, but a much higher reward in my opinion. And then, like I say this a lot. I'm looking to get some more exposure on gaming and metaverse coins as well. But Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, Chainlink. I would stick with the blue chip alts. If you have a little less money, maybe lower your exposure to Bitcoin. But I know a lot of people would rip me apart for saying that. You
hedge
should,
your bets, as some
yeah.
people in the chat are saying. Chainlink. I don't have that much Chainlink. It's like way less than 1,000. People probably think I have thousands of Chainlink.
Yeah.
I sold a decent amount, 21, because I was buying at $2. So yeah, I sold a decent amount, put it into other alts, probably rode those down. But yeah, no, I started reaccumulating June, July, I think. I can't recall. I'd have to look at my Coinbase account. But yeah, I was buying 10 at a time. So, it's a slow and steady increase. I'm not buying 100 at once. I joke that I buy 0.4. I think I'll be honest here. I think I bought 10. It's like $5 a piece, $5.60. I think I paid $60 and bought 10 at $5.60. Coinbase fee was like $6. So yeah, that's how many I bought 10. So for a serious answer, haha, I'm lying. It was actually only 0.4. I think that's all we got time for today. Any parting thoughts?
I think somebody called me Frankie 2 times. A lot of good things in the chat. People saying, "Great, you guys make a great team. Love seeing you guys on together."
Except for that basement chat, they're getting rowdy.
Yeah, the basement chat.
Talking about stitches and certain. I'm not even gonna go there. But all right, tick. Whoa, okay. Anyways, you have to be in the basement to experience it yourself. That's all we got time for. Appreciate everybody joining in, and see you at 5 o'clock around the blockchain.